The night sky was bright, filled with countless stars that twinkled like diamonds scattered across a velvet canvas. It was one of those nights where the universe seemed to be whispering its secrets to anyone who cared to listen. The air was crisp, and the world below was quiet, as if holding its breath in anticipation of something extraordinary. Suddenly, a fiery streak shot across the dark sky, a meteor blazing its way through the atmosphere. It was a sight to behold, a celestial event that captured the attention of anyone who happened to glance upward at that precise moment. The meteor's tail glowed brightly, leaving a trail of light that seemed to hang in the air for a few seconds before fading away. With a loud boom, the meteor crashed into Farmer McGregor's field, sending a shockwave through the ground. The impact created a small crater, and the surrounding area was illuminated by the residual glow of the fallen star. The once serene night was now filled with the sounds of crackling fire and the distant calls of startled animals. A young girl named Amelia, her heart beating fast, went to see what happened. She had been gazing at the stars from her bedroom window when she saw the meteor fall. Curiosity and a sense of adventure propelled her forward, her feet barely touching the ground as she ran towards the source of the explosion. The night air was filled with the scent of burnt grass and the faint metallic tang of something otherworldly. There, in the middle of the crash site, sat a boy, looking okay. He was surrounded by the remnants of the meteor, which now looked more like a strange glowing rock. Despite the chaos around him, the boy seemed calm, almost serene, as if he belonged there amidst the wreckage. His clothes were unlike anything Amelia had ever seen, shimmering with an iridescent quality that caught the light in a mesmerizing way. He looked up, his eyes big and shiny like stars. They reflected the night sky, capturing the light of the stars above and holding it within their depths. There was something magical about his gaze, something that made Amelia feel like she was looking into the very heart of the universe. His eyes were filled with wonder and curiosity, mirroring her own feelings in that moment. He was different, Amelia could tell. There was an otherworldly quality to him, an aura that set him apart from anyone she had ever met. His features were delicate and ethereal, almost as if he had been sculpted from stardust. Yet, despite his unusual appearance, there was a warmth and kindness in his expression that made Amelia feel at ease. But his eyes were kind, and Amelia felt drawn to him. She took a tentative step forward, her curiosity overcoming her initial fear. The boy smiled, a gentle and reassuring gesture that made her heart swell with a strange, newfound sense of connection. In that moment, under the vast expanse of the starry sky, Amelia knew that this encounter was the beginning of something extraordinary, something that would change her life forever. The boy didn't speak English, but somehow they understood each other. His name was Kaelin. Amelia, the girl, had always been curious about the stars. She would often sit by her window at night, gazing up at the sky, wondering what lay beyond the twinkling lights. One evening, while she was out in the field behind her house, she saw a bright light streak across the sky and crash into the woods nearby. Her heart raced with excitement and a bit of fear, but her curiosity got the better of her. She ventured into the woods and found Kaelin, dazed but unharmed. From that moment on, their bond began to form. He came from a star system very, very far away. Days turned into weeks. Kaelin's presence was a secret Amelia kept from everyone, even her closest friends. She knew that if anyone found out, they might take him away. So, every day after school she would rush to the woods to meet him. They would spend hours together learning from each other. Kaelin's knowledge of the universe was vast, and he would tell her stories of distant galaxies, black holes, and the wonders of space travel. In return, Amelia taught him about Earth, its customs, and its people. Amelia helped Kaelin, teaching him about Earth and sharing her food and her laughter. She introduced him to the simple joys of life on Earth, like the taste of fresh strawberries, the sound of birds singing in the morning, and the warmth of the sun on their faces. Kaelin, in turn, shared with her the advanced technology of his people. He showed her a small device that could project holographic images, and together they would watch scenes from his home planet Xylar. He told her about his planet Xylar, a world with shiny cities and 3 moons. The cities were made of a material that shimmered in the light, and the 3 moons cast a beautiful glow over the landscape at night. Kaelin described the flora and fauna of Xylar, with plants that glowed in the dark, and creatures that could change their color at will. Amelia was fascinated by these tales and would often dream of visiting Xylar one day. He drew pictures in the dirt of strange and beautiful creatures and plants that glowed. These drawings were intricate and detailed, showing the beauty and diversity of life on Xylar. Amelia would sit beside him, watching in awe as he brought these alien landscapes to life with just a stick and some dirt. She would ask him questions about each creature and plant, and Kaelin would patiently explain their habits and characteristics. They became very close friends. Their bond was unlike any other, built on mutual respect, curiosity, and a deep understanding of each other's worlds. They knew that their time together was limited, as Kaelin would eventually have to return to his home planet. But for now, they cherished every moment, knowing that their friendship was something truly special. As the days turned into months, their connection only grew stronger, and they promised to never forget each other, no matter where their paths might lead. Their friendship grew into love, a love that blossomed slowly but surely. They had known each other since childhood, their bond growing stronger with each passing year. They shared dreams, hopes, and secrets, and it was only a matter of time before their hearts intertwined in a way that was undeniable. Their love was pure, untainted by the harsh realities of the world around them. It was a love that felt like it could conquer anything, a love that made them feel invincible, a love as bright as the stars Kaelin came from. They would often lie under the night sky, pointing out constellations and making wishes on shooting stars. Kaelin would tell Amelia stories of the stars, stories passed down through generations in his family. These moments were magical, filled with wonder and a sense of eternity. The stars seemed to shine just a little brighter when they were together, as if the universe itself was celebrating their love. One night, under the moon, Amelia found out she was going to have Kaelin's baby. It was a moment of pure joy and overwhelming emotion. She could hardly believe it, her heart swelling with love and anticipation. She imagined their future together, raising their child and building a life filled with happiness and love. The moonlight seemed to cast a special glow on her that night, as if blessing the new life growing inside her. Kaelin's touch became cold, and his eyes looked sad. The joy that had filled their lives was suddenly overshadowed by a deep sorrow. Kaelin seemed distant, his once warm and loving demeanor replaced by a coldness that Amelia couldn't understand. She could see the pain in his eyes, a pain that he tried to hide but couldn't completely mask. It was as if a dark cloud had settled over them, threatening to tear apart the happiness they had built. He explained in his broken English that he had to leave. His words were halting, filled with emotion and regret. He struggled to find the right words, his voice breaking as he tried to explain the situation. Amelia listened in shock, her heart breaking with each word. She couldn't understand why he had to go, why their love wasn't enough to keep him by her side. The pain in his voice was palpable, and she knew that this was tearing him apart just as much as it was tearing her apart. He said being near her and the baby was dangerous. His words were filled with urgency, a desperate need to make her understand. He spoke of dangers that she couldn't comprehend, dangers that seemed distant and unreal. But the fear in his eyes was real, and it made her realize that this was something beyond their control. He was trying to protect her and their unborn child, even if it meant breaking both their hearts in the process. The weight of his words settled heavily on her, and she knew that their lives would never be the same. A tear rolled down Amelia's cheek in the moonlight. It was a tear filled with sorrow, love, and a deep sense of loss. She watched as Kaelin walked away, his figure disappearing into the night. The moonlight cast a silvery glow on her tear-streaked face, highlighting the pain etched in her features. She stood there for what felt like an eternity, her heart breaking with each passing moment. The love they had shared, the dreams they had built, all seemed to fade away into the darkness. But even in that moment of despair, she held on to the hope that one day they would find their way back to each other. Before the sun came up, Kaelin was gone. His spaceship disappeared with the sunrise. Amelia was left with a heart full of love and a promise. He would come back for them, he promised. He would find a way. Amelia held on to that promise, raising their daughter Luna on stories of her father and his amazing home among the stars. Years went by quickly. Luna grew up with her father's silver hair and bright eyes. a reminder of the love that came from across the stars. Amelia, driven by her love and Kaelin's promise, spent her life trying to find a way back to him. She studied the stars and read lots of books about space, always looking for a sign. One day, she found something amazing, an old astronomer's diary, full of strange symbols and stories of people not from Earth. Amelia suddenly realized the symbols matched Kaelin's drawings from long ago. The astronomer wrote about a portal, a hidden gateway that opened when the stars lined up in a special way, something that only happened once in a lifetime. Amelia felt a surge of hope. The special night was only a few days away. Amelia, with Luna by her side, travelled to the place mentioned in the diary. It was a hidden valley where ancient stones stood tall. As the night arrived, the stars moved into place and a shimmering portal, like a rip in the sky, opened up. They stepped through the portal into the unknown. They arrived on a world lit by 3 moons, a beautiful world with amazing technology, and there he was, Kaelin. Older, but his eyes still held the same love. It was like no time had passed. Luna ran into his arms, a father and daughter together again. Their reunion was full of tears and laughter, of catching up and explaining everything. Kaelin said he had never forgotten them and had been working hard to find a way back. Now, finally together, they looked forward to the future, a future where their love could span across planets and galaxies. They were a family connected by a love that was truly special.